Good morning and welcome from Malacca, Malaysia on Monday the 30th of December 2024. So I've just arrived here from Kuala Lumpur. The journey's pretty easy to take. We came by bus. It takes just over 2 hours from the main bus terminal in Kuala Lumpur, and the cost was 50 ringgit. So that's about 400 Thai baht, maybe £9 English, 12 euros, $13 US. So and that's a return as well. So it is really cheap to get here and back. A couple of tips if you are going to come by bus. So you're more than likely going to book the ticket on the internet yourself, or there's plenty of little travel agents in KL that can book it for you at no real extra cost. But just because you get sort of the paper ticket from them, or you download the paper ticket, you actually have to go to the terminal office within the bus station and you need to get the physical ticket from them. So it does take a little bit of time, and there is sort of a decent queue when they were there. So make sure you take that in mind when you're travelling. To get from the centre of Kuala Lumpur to the bus terminal, it's about 25 minutes. I'd give it half an hour. And it was raining this morning when we left KL, so the roads were a bit of a mess. So it were a little bit tight for us. And if you miss it, it's not like in the West where you can just say, can we get on the next bus? Everything is sort of booked up 24 hours in advance. The chance of you getting a ticket on the day is, well, it's impossible. It's not going to happen. So if you do want to come, make sure that you book a couple of days in advance, whether that be on the internet or at an agent. And and it's a pleasant journey. So this is just sort of on the back streets away from the centre, but it sort of reminds me of sort of Georgetown, Penang, Songkhla, Thailand. Yeah, it's looking really nice. And already we've stumbled across some like really nice little cafes and restaurants. There's sort of a few collectible / antique shops selling a mixture of fake and reproduction and a couple of original bits. I've been lucky, I've got a couple of bits already, but I'll be antique hunting for the rest of the day, and we'll see what we can find. If you are going to get the bus as well from KL to Malacca, we came on a full-size 52-seater and we booked it through a travel agent. And when we booked it, the girl was saying, "No, you don't want to get on the 52-seater. Get the express." So they do sort of the 20-seater express buses. But as with everywhere in Southeast Asia or all over Asia, the sort of smaller minibuses, as we call them in the West, are all private hire. And obviously the quicker the drivers get here, they can get some work done in between using transportation applications and then drive you back on an evening. And they just drive so fast and so dangerous. So I'd recommend the bigger bus, get the coach. It's only an extra 30 minutes. But our driver were pretty safe. Everything seemed pretty legit, and the journey were well. Seems like there's a little bit of a bar culture here that'll be open on an evening as well. So the red brick buildings just there, I believe, are the Catholic church, or around the Catholic church in the main square. I think everything looks a little bit congested due to everything being pretty old. You know, all the original road infrastructure is probably how it was 100 years ago in the centre of town. And the bus station's sort of a 15-minute taxi ride away. And again, your Grab application works fine here, so you can use Grab. It seems a lot more touristy here than where we've been staying in KL. And I would have thought, if you head into the islands, I would have thought you'd be able to get a boat from here to Penang, and then from Penang to Langkawi if you wished. But right, it's time for breakfast now. So we're at Christchurch, Malacca, and this is basically my nightmare. This is like everything I hate about things getting commercialised. So this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So this is Christchurch's church. But like this is like a nightmare. And over the road we've got like a Hard Rock Cafe. It just don't really say deep cultural heritage to me. I think they've got this bit wrong. I'm gonna head back into the older part of town, back into the less commercial area, because this is pretty horrible, really. But I don't want to moan. I mean, I really enjoyed the other parts that I've seen so far. But yeah, this is definitely a display of how mass tourism, which I'm contributing to myself, and I sort of spoils things, doesn't it? Yeah, it's time to leave here. So walking through the centre of Malacca, this is like the first place that I've come across where it's quiet. You can probably hear some music in the background there, but sort of the centre of town has been destroyed by hundreds and hundreds of rickshaws with massive speaker systems on them, playing really loud, cheesy Euro and Asia pop. It's pretty horrible, to be honest. I'm gonna head down to Harbour now, see if it's a better feeling there. But I think a lot of people sort of feel the same, as sort of everybody has a look on the face as if to say, like, is it really happening? It's got sort of like a Disneyland feel to it, sort of a manufactured feel. You know, it's a site, you know, a place that's been here for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's so important for world trade and stuff like that, Chinese, Asian and European history, and it feels like a really bad version of Disneyland at the moment. I'm going to try my best to cheer up. I'm going to try my best, but I'm not promising much. So if you want to come and go around the National Heritage Site on a rickshaw like this, blasting out really loud music, Malacca is your place. Come to Malacca. So this is sort of the main tourist walking street, and everything changed so much from about 12 o'clock from when we got here. So what I didn't realise is it's a really big destination for cruise ships. So there's 3 cruise ships in today, just today, and I presume that they're all either Chinese or Korean in origin. So there's just an absolute massive influx of people all of a sudden, and I'll be honest, it's not really for me. In this, the side streets are great. Just heading now back to the quieter roads. Yeah, it's not really for me. It's massively commercial now. I think they've sort of ruined, or I feel that they've ruined sort of the centre of town. But it's got to work for a minute. They've got to make money. Everybody's got to have a job, and everybody's got to get paid. And I had a bit of a whinge about it when I first saw it, but then I've come to realise it's probably me just been a bit of a moaning old bastard, and got to accept that, you know, people do have to work, and it's all about paying the mortgage, innit? I had a sort of think about how coastal towns with heritage sites back in my country, UK, also have to change and tender to the people. And yeah, you know, the closest coastal town to myself back in the UK, I'm from a city called Leeds, and when I think about places like Bridlington and Scarborough, which are seaside towns, they have sort of historical, cultural heritage sites, but then, you know, they have their tacky commercial sort of side as well, because, you know, they need to bring the people in, and this, by the looks of it, is what the majority of people want, or I presume they won't do it. Would I come again? I'm not sure if I would. I certainly wouldn't just come to Malacca, but if I was at KL and I was with friends that like to visit, maybe I would come. I feel that a day is definitely enough, and, you know, you have got to be prepared for mass tourism that just all of a sudden turns up from sort of 12 o'clock. Maybe it's your cup of tea. It's not mine. But leave some comments if you want to, and questions down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching from a relatively grumpy, mangy old man on a day in Malacca. Thanks for watching.